What's going on, everybody? Double Check Effect Sports Code coming at you with another video. Shout out to everyone who has liked and subscribed to the channel. Took some more time off. Again, haven't felt as inspired lately due to the we picked the finals and the Stanley Cup wrong. So wanted to switch subjects today entirely. I know it's a little early for football season. I know it's only, what is it, in June, right? So getting ready for minicamp, but I couldn't pass up the opportunity to find some unique connections to John Madden and his unique connections to the upcoming Super Bowl here in Super Bowl 59. So we got a lot to talk about here. Of course, John Madden, the famous Raiders coach, the famous commentator, one of the more iconic people in the NFL history. Again, his video game, known by a lot of people in the game, his recent passing in 2021. We got some good notes today. So I wanted to talk about how John Madden is or was the old Janus, right? We talked extensively about Janus in the past, and he represents Janus. We found a lot of clues that tie him together. So again, just follow me along on this journey. Again, I'm not predicting a winner yet. It's way too early. But hopefully through this dissection of John Madden, we can find and come to a conclusion with your help, some possibilities for this upcoming Super Bowl. So we're going to start with our notes here. Again, John Earl Madden, Super Bowl 59 connections. So let's first start out with he was born April 10th, 1936, died December 28th, 2021. Okay. He first appeared as a coach, as a linebackers coach for the Oakland Raiders, and he lost to Lombardi's Packers. Okay, so this is the first thing I want you to look at is that he was a coach when the Packers completed their three-peat. Okay, so the year before Super Bowl I, the Packers had won the championship. So Madden was a coach, and they scored 33 points. Now, again, I know what you're thinking. The Chiefs going to go 3 for 3. Again, that seems to be a very strong narrative. Again, we're not really going to talk about much about that. I just want to focus on John Madden. He was a linebackers coach on this team. And then if you look up John Earl Madden Janus in the Fibonacci and Chaldean cipher, you'll notice it's 1433 and 68, just like the score of the game and in the year it was played. Okay, so this was Super Bowl II in Miami. Bart Starr, again, he won 3 consecutive championships here. And John Madden was the linebacker coach. So this is just something I wanted to point out before we kind of dive deeper into this. John Earl Madden Janus, 1433 in the Fibonacci, and the Chaldean 68. He becomes head coach of the Raiders and leads them to Super Bowl 11. Okay, so this is where we're going to talk about, Super Bowl 11. January 9th, 1977, defeating his birth state team, Minnesota Vikings. Okay, so let's dive into that a little bit here. Super Bowl 11, again, if we go into, we'll start with it, Janus equals 11, right? This is the simplest way to kind of dissect that, in Super Bowl 59. So as you can see the 70s over here, 70 minus 11 is 59, and 65 as well is the reversal or the mirror image of 59. We're going to talk more on that in a little bit here, but I just want you to know he won Super Bowl 11. Again, the score was 32-14. Very significant game for the NFL because 32 and 14 equals NFL. He represents Janus in this game, right? It was his only Super Bowl win as a head coach, and it took place on January 9th. And we've talked extensively about this in other videos, how January 9th is the feast of Janus. So this took place, no question, on a twin year, 7-7, right? So he also was number 77 in his 1 year he played for the Philadelphia Eagles. So that's just worth noting right off the bat as well. It gets better, right? We're just going to keep talking about this and how we're going to build from this. There's going to be a part 2 to this for sure. I just want to walk you guys through this one. Again, January 9th, Feast of Janus, the twins, right? The twin duality of black and white, night and day. They do this a lot, right? So this is a very thing we've been talking extensively about it, and we're going to stick to it, especially for this John Madden, ritual, because again, I think they tricked us because last year, again, with the Raiders hosting, we looked for a lot of John Madden symbolism, and there really wasn't much. Again, he has a shrine that is a flame in his honor at the stadium, but I think this year is clearly the year. I'm going to show you why. Again, just to talk about it, the word twins is 85, and of course John Madden, he passed away at the age of 85. And we've talked a lot about twins in a lot of the videos. It says Philadelphia Eagles player, 1959. So we're going to go back to our notepad here. We want to talk about how the Feast of Janus, January 9th, Janus is 65 and 11. 65 is the mirror to 59. Okay, so if you were to flip that 6 upside down on the other side, it would mirror each other, right? So 65 plus 59 is 124. In the very simplest cipher, John, Earl, Madden, is 124. And we just got that from adding basically Janus to Super Bowl 59. Again, it gets better. We keep going further. So from Super Bowl 11 to Super Bowl 59, again, if we add the 11 to 59, that's 70. It's in a span of exactly 577 months. Again, 577 is the 106th prime number, and the word mathematics in Fibonacci cipher is 577. So we're going to dissect that here. So if we go to the day of the game here, on Super Bowl 11 to Super Bowl 59, you get a span of 577 months. Which is also the 106th prime number. Again, Super Bowl 11 took place on a day of 106 numerology. So a lot of good stuff so far. As you can see, we're on the right track. Again, I need your help to kind of see where this is going to take us, because in all likelihood, the Raiders are not going to go to the Super Bowl. A lot of teams that he's associated with, he has he was always a big fan of the Packers. He was born in the Bay Area for the Niners. Again, big fan of Brett Favre. You know this. So he played for the Eagles, right? So I mean, these are all potential suitors, right? But we're trying to find the right one. Okay. And this may take us before the season starts, but that's okay. We'll be willing to take our time with this one, just because I think we're on the right track and we got a lot going that makes sense for this. So diving back into it, back to our notes, Madden would become one of the most iconic sports announcers in history of the NFL, and of course, he would appear in 11 Super Bowls. So he would broadcast 11 Super Bowls because he's Janus, and Janus is 11. What I thought was interesting, his first Super Bowl was Super Bowl 16. It featured the Bengals and the 49ers. The first one won by San Francisco. So his hometown, how about that? The first team. So if you look, he's Daly City, California. It's a city, where is it at? Outside, I think south. I was saying somewhere around South Bay Area. I think I wrote that in the notes as well. He attended high school in the South Bay Area in Daly City, California. I noticed there was Super Bowl 16, right? So that was the first one he narrated or commentary, right? And his last Super Bowl announcer was in 43, which was the Pittsburgh versus the Arizona Cardinals game. His first 16 plus his last 43 equals 59, which leads up to this year's connection. So now we're going to talk a little bit more about this right here. If you add up all the Super Bowls he was a broadcaster for, again, all 11, I just highlighted the team that won that year, see if there's any commonality that we see. The only thing that I saw was that it was the 49ers twice. Obviously, he had to call the Raiders once. His biggest rival, Steelers both times, right? So his biggest rival and his hometown team won twice when he commentated. Of course, you had the Brady first as well. So he had not only Joe Montana's first, but he had Brady's first. And went back to back with the Bucks, right? So if you add up the sum total, Super Bowl 16 plus 18, you get 325. I thought that was very interesting because if you take a look at this year's Super Bowl, it takes place on February 9th, 2025, leaving 325 days left in the year. So let's go ahead and look. So as you can see right here, that leaves 325 days left in the year. And we just got saying how if you were to add up the sum total of all the Super Bowls that he called, all 11, which is Janus, he's the twin, leaves 325 days left in the year. Okay, so clearly this is the year that they're going to tribute Madden. Last year looked like the obvious choice, but it simply wasn't. It really wasn't. And then the last thing before we kind of dissect a little bit and go into some options, from the death of Madden to the date of Super Bowl 59 is exactly 1,139 days. And of course, if you look at the word right here, so 1,139, his death to Super Bowl 59, it gives you the word, let's just do it, twins, right? Oops, wrong cipher. Let's add the Latin cipher, the Jewish cipher. So yeah, 11, 11, 1, 1, 39. Okay, clearly a twin ritual coming, right? So we don't know what that means, right? So this is a unique opportunity to see what we can find here. Also, it's worth noting that, the last time it was in New Orleans, it featured the Baltimore Ravens and the 49ers, aka the Blackout Bowl, in which 65 points were scored. And again, Janus equals 65. Another possible tribute to Madden here. But yeah, I think these are really convincing here. Side notes here. Madden died at the age of 85. I'm going to make a future video about who I believe is the twin of John Madden. Here's a little spoiler alert right here. You may notice this guy. His name's John Candy, but we're not going to talk about in this video. You're going to have to stay tuned for our next video, because that's a video in itself of how I believe that John Candy and John Madden are one in the same. Yes, it's true. It's very possible. And, one had a longer life. One's life was cut short. Again, the duality of it, right? So we're going to touch base on John Candy and how he plays a factor in this possible riddle as well on our next video. But these were some interesting videos. I saw some commercials of John Madden in 1983. I'll have you take a look. So note, he was also terrified to fly, right? So he wasn't a fan of flying. He would take the train. I just want you to see kind of this commercial here.
Rolling through the Rockies and all across the Midwest, nice lead's filling, and it tastes great coast to coast. That's why I take the train, not because I'm scared of anything. Hey, what happened to the
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Baby, I'm a little afraid of the dark.
So I've never seen that commercial before, but it was very interesting. The lights go out, just like the Super Bowl that's coming up. The word blackout is a word that matches twins in the 85, and he died at the age of 85. So that was a unique commercial. And I also wanted to point out this clip that you've seen. It was when the Eagles were highlighting their new jerseys, their black jerseys. I'll let you take a look real quick and see if this is anything.
Car 4133, you seen this? Captain, what are you talking about? It appears to be a blackout. Everything is all black.
Notice it shows the 65 right away. The blackout in this Eagles player right here. There's no coincidence, because Philadelphia equals 65 and the 101. Okay, just like the word Janus. So how fitting coincidence, right, that we just talked about John Madden, that they would release this video. Again, does this foreshadow the Philadelphia Eagles return to the Super Bowl? Possibly. Last note I had here, he was drafted by the Eagles in 1959 to practice squad. So, again, this is all speculation for right now. I just know, just to recap all of this, this was a little longer video than normal, which is good. We haven't made one in a while. Again, Madden appeared in Super Bowl II, which featured, his name, John Earl Madden, 14-33 against Lombardi's Packers, 68 Chaldean. He becomes the coach of the Raiders, leads them to a Super Bowl championship in Super Bowl 11, Feast of Janus, January 9th, 1977. Again, 65 is the mirror to 59. If you add up 65 to 59, you get 124. John Earl Madden, 124. From Super Bowl 11, Super Bowl 59, a span of exactly 577 months. 577 is the 106 prime number. And then I didn't even write the word of this, but mathematics is 177 in the Fibonacci cipher as well. I'm going to start writing these out. This is a little easier for you guys to follow along. I feel like I hop around a lot, and if I have some notes here, it's easier to keep track of. So let me know what you think. Again, if you tally up all the Super Bowls, his first 16, his last 43 equals 59. If you add up all of them in which he commentated, all 11, you equals 325. Super Bowl 59 takes place on a day leaving 325 days left in the year. The death of Madden to Super Bowl 59 is exactly 1,139 days. The word twins is 85, dies the age of 85, and 1,139 in Latin. Okay. Again, twin. Spoiler alert, again, we're going to make a future video on how I believe John Candy is connected to this as well. Remember, he was in films such as Uncle Buck, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Again, who hated to fly? They leave clues in there, right? So, and also Cool Runnings, another interesting movie that I found with John Candy in connection to possibly John Madden. So, yep, that's my breakdown of John Madden in Super Bowl 59. Again, double check effect sports code coming at you here. My prediction for tonight is Dallas is going to win game 3. It's the only possibility for them to make that a series. So Dallas wins game 3 in tribute to Jerry West 143. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys soon.